a marathon match. And of course, Siegemund was playing those tactical games. You know, she was time wasting a little bit. She was, getting a little bit agitated, getting the umpire involved. She does all those things. And Eala, mentally strong throughout, just kept her cool and just played the game. And that's what she did very, very well in this one, which could have easily gone to Siegemund. I mean, again, like I said, chances were there. But let me know in the comments below. How's Eala going to do against potentially Swiatek? Because
there's to be no escape act in the second set for Lara Siegemund. Terrific point.
Alexandra Eala has just delivered one of the most emotionally charged, mentally resilient, and physically demanding performances of her young career so far. In a dramatic three-set battle that lasted a grueling 3 hours and 20 minutes, the longest match of her professional career, she took down the experienced Laura Siegemund in the second round of 64 of the Miami Open 2026. This wasn't merely a tennis match on the hard courts of Hard Rock Stadium. It was an intense test of composure, patience, strategic adaptability, and unbreakable mental strength against one of the tour's most tactical and rhythm-disrupting players. From the opening games, it was evident this encounter would be anything but straightforward. Eala, the 20-year-old Filipina ranked world number 29 and seeded number 31, came in fully prepared, not just for the baseline rallies and Siegemund's crafty shot-making, but also for the psychological warfare that often accompanies matches against the 38-year-old German veteran. Siegemund is well known for stretching the limits of time rules, using extended pauses, deliberate slow service routines, complaints to officials about minor distractions like crowd movement or external noise, and anything else to break an opponent's flow and momentum. Eala started strongly in the first set, racing out to a commanding 3-0 lead with clean, aggressive baseline play. She dictated points with precision forehands and backhands, putting Siegemund on the defensive early and even breaking serve convincingly in the second game. Eala looked sharp, composed, and fully in control as she built momentum. However, Siegemund's signature tactics gradually kicked in: repeated interruptions, long routines before serving, complaints about spectators or other factors, and constant efforts to slow the pace. These disruptions turned what should have been a dominant set for Eala into a fragmented, stop-start affair. Every time Eala seemed ready to pull away, the rhythm was broken, forcing her to restart her focus repeatedly. Despite being the better player in many exchanges, Eala couldn't quite close it out. She held 4 set points in the set, but Siegemund showed her fighting spirit by saving them all and forcing a tiebreak. In the breaker, the veteran capitalized on the disrupted flow, edging at 8-6 to steal the first set 7-6-6. It was a massive turning point, one that could have crushed the confidence of many young players facing such veteran gamesmanship. But Eala refused to let it shake her. The drama escalated right at the start of the second set. Just as play was about to resume, Siegemund took an extended bathroom break, lasting around 12 minutes, further cooling the court conditions and attempting to reset Eala's built-up rhythm. This kind of timing is classic in Siegemund's playbook, and has drawn criticism in past matches, including her notable 2023 US Open controversy, with Coco Gauff involving multiple time violations and pace-of-play arguments. Many players would have grown frustrated, argued with the umpire, or lost emotional control. This is exactly where Eala demonstrated her extraordinary maturity and mental fortitude. Instead of reacting with anger or complaints, Eala used the time to reset internally. She stayed calm, hydrated, focused on her breathing and routine, and returned to the court with a completely renewed mindset, locked in, determined, and unfazed. When action resumed, the second set became a powerful statement from the young star. Eala refused to let the delays dictate her game anymore. She regained full control of the tempo from the very first points, attacking aggressively, varying her shots intelligently, and staying disciplined through every rally. Siegemund tried her usual slowdown tactics again, but they had zero effect this time. Eala built pressure game by game, broke serve at crucial moments twice in the set, and closed it out convincingly 6-3. The momentum had shifted dramatically. For the first time, Siegemund looked visibly rattled, short on answers, and struggling to find her footing. Heading into the deciding third set, the match had transformed into a pure battle of endurance, patience, and mental toughness. Past the 3-hour mark, every long game, deuce, and extended rally tested both players' limits. Siegemund persisted with her disruptions, more complaints to the umpire about spectators entering, exiting, claims of distractions, and stretching time between points. But officials were firmer this time, recognizing the pattern and not indulging excessive delays. More importantly, Eala remained completely unaffected. She stayed laser-focused point by point, refusing to get drawn into any drama or side arguments. She waited patiently for openings, executed her game plan flawlessly, and pounced when chances arose. Just like in the second set, Eala broke through at the decisive moments, breaking Siegemund twice again and sealing the third set 6-3. The final score, 6-7-6, 6-3, 6-3. As the last point landed, Eala unleashed a powerful, emotional victory cry, a raw release of all the pressure, restraint, and intensity she had bottled up for over 3 hours. On the other side, Siegemund's reactions spoke volumes. A brief, half-hearted handshake before walking off court, her frustration clear and no real acknowledgement of the epic battle. This victory echoes elements of Siegemund's past controversies, like her US Open clash with Coco Gauff, where similar pace issues and arguments with officials drew widespread attention. Post-match, Siegemund appeared emotional in press conferences, attempting to frame the narrative around perceived unfair treatment from crowds or officials, much like she did in prior incidents. But the on-court reality was undeniable. Eala's superior execution, composure, and refusal to engage in the drama carried the day. Eala's handling of the entire situation was masterful. She didn't complain publicly during the match, didn't lose her cool, and let her tennis speak loudest. At just 20 years old, facing a seasoned pro with a reputation for mental games, she showed championship-level maturity. This win advances her to the round of 32 and sets up a potential deep run in a tournament where she made headlines last year.
Less than a 0 because they treated me bad. Like, they treated me like I was a cheater, like I was, like, trying, sneaky ways to win this match or something. They treated me like I was a bad person. But, there are people who are throwing rackets, who are screaming, who are, like, making bad gestures.
The single biggest difference that decided this Miami Open 2026 thriller was Alexandra Eala's unflinching, mature response to every challenge thrown her way. While Laura Siegemund relied heavily on her familiar toolkit, deliberate delays, rhythm disruptions, complaints, and tactical pauses to unsettle opponents, Eala stayed disciplined, adapted intelligently, and refused to be pulled into the side drama or emotional traps. She anticipated the tactics, prepared mentally for them, and neutralized them through pure focus and execution. In doing so, she exposed the limits of those strategies and turned the match into a showcase of her own growing mental toughness. Despite Siegemund's post-match efforts to shift the narrative, portraying herself as the victim of crowd bias, official decisions, or other external factors, the truth played out clearly on court for everyone to see. The interruptions were visible and frequent, but Eala's calm under constant pressure rendered them ineffective. When Siegemund pressed arguments with the umpire or tried to highlight perceived unfairness, it only highlighted her growing desperation rather than changing the outcome. The crowd, commentators, and observers ultimately sided with the player who maintained cleaner, more consistent tennis and handled adversity with grace. This victory means far more than just advancing to the next round of 32. For Eala, it solidifies her reputation as one of the tour's most mentally resilient young talents. At 20, she demonstrated the kind of composure under extreme pressure that many veterans struggle to maintain. She dug deep after dropping the first set, responded brilliantly to the long break, stayed patient through endless deuces and rallies in the decider, and finished strong without ever losing her poise. That level of maturity, combined with her improving physical game and aggressive baseline style, marks real growth. Moving forward in the Miami Open, Eala now carries massive confidence, belief in her process, and tangible proof she can thrive against crafty, experienced opponents on the biggest stages. If she continues with the same mindset, focused, adaptable, emotionally steady, and ready for whatever comes, she has every chance to go deep here and build on her breakout performances from previous years. A potential rematch with top players like Iga Swiatek could be on the horizon if results align. This wasn't just another solid win or a routine comeback. It was a defining moment that showcased Eala's mental toughness, discipline, strategic intelligence, and maturity on one of the sport's premier stages. She didn't merely survive a marathon battle against a notorious disruptor, she adapted, rose above every tactic, and emerged stronger. Performances like this are what build future champions. If Eala keeps handling high-pressure situations with this control and maturity, there's no doubt this is only the start of something truly special. The tennis world is watching closely now. Alexandra Eala has announced herself loudly in 2026.